Hi, I'm Amy Hannon, and nothing thrills me more than people and food. I'm a preacher's wife, a mom of 3, and I own my own specialty kitchen store. I've kept an open door and a well-stocked fridge, which means I have fed a lot of mouths over the years. So welcome to my kitchen. This is Cooking Today. Hi, thanks for joining us today. We are so excited to have Holly Thomas back in the kitchen with me. She's my friend that is domestic housewife on Instagram.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I love that you're here. She is the most unbelievable cookie artist you've ever seen, and I use artist in the literal term.
Well, thank you.
You know, I mean, really, really good. Mine, I would never even begin to know how to do something like she does. It's pretty fantastic. So follow Holly on Instagram at Domestic Housewife. You will be so glad that you did. It's a real treat. Today, we're actually going to make a cookie cake. My kids prefer cookie cakes over cupcakes and anything else really when it comes time for birthday parties or sleepovers. I don't know why, but I can make all kinds of desserts, but they always ask for a cookie cake. And so I'm going to leave the baking up to me, and Holly is going to show us how to make a pretty cake because she makes that fantastic icing recipe that we can't wait to show you, and then these great piping tips that are going to knock your socks off. So what I've got going right now is I'm creaming a half a cup of butter and a half a cup of Crisco. And to this, I'm going to have Holly add 3/4 of a cup of sugar. And I'm going to add, let's see if you can reach. I'm going to add, got it?
Got it.
And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And once we kind of get that going, we'll turn that up a little bit and really get that creamed well. Don't shorten this step. You want to go ahead and it almost needs to be fluffy a little bit. And then that sugar also starts to kind of break down a little, so it's dissolved, so it's not quite as gritty. So we're going to get that going. Ooh, that smells good. That's what you want to dip your finger in.
It does smell good.
Dip your finger in there. Okay, so we're going to let that go. And because I can't talk and work at the same time, I'm going to have Holly crack those in there. And I'm going to tell you that Holly actually started making cookies oh, she did it with one hand.
I crack a lot of eggs.
She's showing me up. She does crack a lot of eggs. I've never cracked an egg with one hand in my life.
Have you not?
No.
Well, when you're cracking a bunch of eggs every day,
you just get
you
good
figure
at
it out because I'm doing something else over here. So.
She's so fancy. Okay, so we've got this going. It's a beautiful color. Holly, actually, what I was going to tell you is that she actually started making cookies when you lost a baby, right?
That's right.
It was just
very therapeutic
for you.
Yes, very much.
And what year was that?
2007.
Yeah. And so she really hasn't been doing it all that long, but it's pretty unbelievable what she's been able to do in that short amount of time. Okay, so we've got our eggs and our vanilla and our sugar, all the good stuff going right here. And we're going to turn this down because you certainly don't want to add dry ingredients to a mixer that's going high. And then I'm going to also have Holly reach in and add 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. And then while she's doing that, I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt. And I'll tell you this, if you only have salted butter, I use unsalted, but if you only have salted butter in your refrigerator, then you're going to want to cut this teaspoon of salt, down by just about a half. You certainly don't want to have crazy, crazy salty cookies. Okay, so I did add my teaspoon of salt, my teaspoon of baking soda. Holly's adding in a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, which is kind of my little favorite touch. Anytime ooh, it smells good.
This smells really good.
Anytime I make something like a chocolate chip cookie or chocolate cake, I always kind of sneak in a little bit of cinnamon. There's just something about it that I really love. And
oh, that smells so good.
Doesn't it smell good? I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Okay, so let's just go over because it had a lot of ingredients. Flour. Did we do brown sugar?
No.
Brown sugar. We'll get that in there. 3/4 of a cup. So we did our flour, our white sugar,
okay,
our brown sugar.
Okay.
Yep.
That smells good too.
Yep, smells good. And I don't know if you know, but when you use brown sugar, you need to use your hand or the bag. See, Holly's mashing it to get that down in there. We probably could have put that brown sugar in earlier. We probably should have, but it'll all still eat. Okay, flour, sugar, brown sugar, salt, baking soda, a little bit of cinnamon, and vanilla. And do you hear how the sound of our mixer has changed? It's really working hard. We've got that mixed really, really well. Don't you just kind of want to load that up and start
Take a
eating?
spoon to it. Yeah.
Eating spoonfuls? Me too. Okay, and so Holly, if you will, let's take a wooden spoon.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to start scraping this off, and whoop, that just came right off. What I like to do is transfer to a wooden spoon and mix in the chips all by myself, not with the mixer's help.
I do the same.
Do you do the same? It's just, I almost feel like it's too much work for the mixer.
Yes.
And I also don't think that the mixer gets down in there really well. You know, sometimes you leave a little bit at the bottom. Okay, ready? This is heavy.
Got it?
Yep. Okay, you turn it, you pour it in. And what I've got here is 2 whole cups of chocolate chips. But I mix my chips. So I do part, you want to stir?
Sure.
I do part milk chocolate and part semi-sweet. It just gives a little, do you say semi-sweet or semi-sweet?
Semi-sweet.
I say semi. Is that
Do you?
Southern? Because when it came
Maybe.
out, it didn't sound right.
See, semi-sweet doesn't sound right.
I think it's semi-sweet.
Yeah.
In
Let's
Arkansas.
go with that.
Yep. We'll have to ask the chocolate chip people what they say. Anyway, so I like to actually use a couple of different flavors of chocolate chips so that you just get a different bite.
Yes.
Sometimes that milk sweet is in there and it's really, really good. And sometimes the semi-sweet is in there and you just, I know. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just basically a chocolate chip cookie recipe. There is nothing different about it than really anything else. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually grease a pizza pan and pat this cookie dough into this sheet pan, and we're gonna bake it in the oven in a minute, and we're gonna work on that, and when we come back, we're gonna make the icing. We'll talk to you soon.
Cooking Today, sponsored by West Rock Coffee Company.
Hi, we're back with Holly Thomas, the domestic housewife, who is my friend and frosting extraordinaire. You are.
Well, I don't know about that.
You are. And she's going to show us today how to make her beautiful, kind of like classic vanilla frosting. Is that what you would call it?
Yes, perfect classic vanilla white icing.
Like a white icing. We debate on what's a frosting and an icing, so we're going to use those words interchangeably. And we actually have a homemade chocolate chip cookie that is in the oven. And I say cookie instead of cookies because we put it in a big sheet pan, like a big pizza pan. Is that how you make yours at home?
Yeah.
Just a big sheet pan?
And it smells so good.
It does smell good.
Smell it.
And that is going to bake in a 375 oven for somewhere around 15 minutes or so. You need to start checking it at 15 minutes. And then probably check it every minute or so after that because you don't want to overdo it where it's too brown and crispy and crumbly. You want it to be just enough brown with just enough chew. So I would say when you start seeing it or start smelling it in your kitchen and you check in there and look at it, just watch it real close. Start checking it about 15 minutes or so. So we've got that on a timer, and Holly's going to get us going on this basic vanilla frosting.
Okay. Start with 8 cups of powdered sugar.
Okay.
I've already got that in my bowl. And then you need 2 cups of shortening,
Yep.
which is what makes it good.
It makes it taste like the bakery, like when you go to the real bakery.
Yes.
This is what makes it taste different from buttercream or cream cheese frosting.
It is. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of heavy whipping cream. I would say in total it's about 1/4 of a cup, but give or take, everybody likes their icing a little different consistency. I like it firm, but I don't like it too thick. So we're going to start mixing on the lowest speed. Don't go any higher than the lowest speed or you'll have a face full of confectioner
For sure.
sugar.
And there's a cloud. Can you see the little cloud of confectioner sugar that's coming out?
And as it's mixing, just keep adding your heavy whipping cream until you see it all incorporating together. And this smells good too.
When you make something like this with powdered sugar, you're going to have to get a wet cloth and wipe down your cabinets and all that stuff because you'll get that little film.
Yes, everywhere.
But that's just good cooking.
That's right.
That's just good cooking.
That's right. The
There's
cooking
nothing
is always
wrong.
messy.
Yeah. Well, we got to get that lump in there.
Yeah, we get it.
That big boy.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. And it was such a surprise to me the first time I watched her make this that it's that she uses Crisco and not butter or cream cheese. I really in all my cooking did not know that Crisco was the ingredient that went in this kind of
classic
frosting.
yeah.
I had no idea.
Butter, with a butter icing or frosting, it doesn't hold up its shape as well.
Right.
So when you're decorating with something, you want to use the Crisco.
Well, and I don't decorate. I just make the frosting and then ice a cake, put it between layers and all that. So I've never had to make it stand up or do anything cute.
Right.
Mine just spreads.
Yes. Which it tastes good too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm smelling the cookie, and we have a few more minutes left on it before I start really considering taking it out of the oven.
And you want to make sure you beat this until you incorporate everything and you see all the little pieces of powdered sugar all incorporated, and we are there. So our icing is finished. So we're going to pull this up, and I'm going to give you a little bit in a bowl.
Okay.
And drop just 1 drop of that pink gel. That's the Wilton food color gel. I love it. It's
And you
so
use
much
gel over just regular food color.
Yes, it's so much better. It gives you a much more like intense color, a lot prettier color.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So
I'll
here
do pink.
is yours. Oops. Do dark or light pink.
Oh, if you weren't looking, I would pick that glob up and put it in my mouth. Okay. So there's pink.
You do dark pink.
Oh, I'm doing dark pink. So how many?
Or whichever.
How should I do?
Do like 3.
Fun. Okay, ready?
And there's no right or wrong way. No right or wrong color.
Okay.
It'll all look pretty together. I'm going to make 3 different, we're going to use 3 different colors of icing, and I'll show you how to put them together
So I've got my elbow
in a bag. You're fine. And it will make a really pretty 3-colored rosette.
I really cannot believe how saturated that is.
Yes. Isn't that so pretty?
Yes. I'm kind of
So
making
much
a mess.
different.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I am too. So works good.
I bet this stains your fingers.
It does.
Does it?
Every day I have a different color hands.
Oh, that's kind of fun. Huh? That's mark of a
Oh, that's perfect.
of a fun
Amy.
career. That's kind of
right.
cute,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's really cute.
So you're just going to do one.
Yes, I'll do one.
Sounds like our cookie's about ready. So we're going to finish stirring in these drops and make this icing beautiful. And then we're going to take that cookie out of the oven and we're going to frost it when we get back. This is Cooking Today.
Iced tea, sponsored by Lipton.
Hi, we're back in the kitchen with Holly Thomas, my friend domestic housewife, who is the queen of frosting and decoration and all things sweets. That's why we've got her here today. She's a fun one. We have actually made a cookie cake that we have already baked and pressed that all out in this big sheet pan. It's basically just a big pizza pan. We've allowed this to completely cool. You want this to be cool before you frost it. And then Holly showed us how to make her classic white frosting that has a lot of Crisco and good stuff in it so that it pipes beautifully and smooth. And then when we were leaving, we were adding food coloring to the frostings. Oh, and I said food coloring, it's gel.
Gel, yes, there is a
Gel.
difference.
There's a difference. And she did a green. What's the green for?
We'll use those for the petals or leaves.
Okay.
And then we'll use the dark pink, light pink, and white that's left in the bowl to make like a 3-toned icing to make some really pretty rosettes around the outer edge of the cookie cake.
I love that. Okay, so let's do it. So you are going to show us how to use...
I'll show you a little trick that I use so that's not so messy because, like Amy said, you use shortening and it can get messy and sticky.
Okay.
So I use saran wrap. You'll just take a piece, lay it flat, and start with one of your colors. I'll start with the white because it's closest to me.
Sorry, I picked that up.
Oh, you're fine. No, you're good. And just kind of, and this doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be picky. But just scoop out your first color into a line on the outer edge of the bag.
You're doing 3 colors?
Mm-hmm. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
And it's so pretty when you get it, when you pipe it out.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll do dark pink next.
Okay.
You want to do the light pink?
No.
Okay. I knew you were going to.
I'll
Look
do
how
the
pretty
first.
it is.
I'll do the first glob, and then you can.
Okay.
I'll do the.
Oh, you're good. It's
I
just
good?
messy. That's just part of it.
Okay.
This is the color Amy mixed. Isn't it pretty?
It's a little bit. It's a little bit right.
No, it's perfect.
little bright.
You're going to see how pretty it is when
Okay.
we put it on the cake.
Okay, so then my thought would be to do white, then light pink, and then hot pink. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Kind of in a row.
Yes, and
Here,
actually,
I'll just hold it. You
okay.
do it.
And it really doesn't matter, and you'll see. Sometimes the less traditional, the prettier.
I'm learning that all of my instincts, like if I were to guess how to do this, every single thing I've ever thought was completely wrong. So it's good that Holly's here, showing us how
That's
to do
why I'm
it.
here to give you some tips. So after you do that, just kind of take it and roll it up And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want it all to be
so cute in
together.
there.
Yeah, isn't it cute?
Yes.
So,
now tell me why you put it in the saran.
this will keep your bag clean. These get so messy, and when you're done with this, usually I would have to snip off the end, but because we have so much icing, I don't have to do that. I have stuck an icing
It kind of
tip.
feels like pie dough.
Yes,
A little
exactly.
bit. When I do my pie dough and I wrap it in saran
Yes.
to refrigerate it,
Yes.
it kind of feels like that a little
It
bit.
does. I've stuck an icing tip. This one has like the star end on it. All right, we already have icing in there. It's a 1M, so it's kind of dirty.
And you just clipped the end of that bag off.
Clip the end of the bag off, stuck the icing tip in,
Okay.
and then you stick your pink icing in, and we are ready
That big
to.
old log of
Yep,
icing.
we're ready for the cake.
Like that's
on.
it? Like you're ready?
Yes.
Okay, so here's our cake. It's cooled. So what are you going to do? I told her she could do whatever she wanted. I bake and she could frost.
Yes, I'm going to show you. This is what I did for my 5-year-old little girl's birthday. So everybody loved it, so I thought this would be something
That's
fun.
a good one.
Yeah.
Well, because that's what I was saying. You can start. That's what I was always thinking was like so many people love to have a cookie cake because it feeds a big crowd and
Yes.
you can kind of make it
Yes.
for, put it out and cut it into a whole bunch of pieces and serve it to kids and family. It's kind of easy.
So I'm just
I
making.
got sidetracked when I looked
you're
down
good.
and saw that. They're so pretty.
I'm just making rosettes. And you just start from the center and you'll work counterclockwise or clockwise. And if you rotate which direction you're doing them in, you'll kind of get different colors, and that makes a fun variety.
I love the color that you did.
Isn't
the
that
two.
fun?
Mm-hmm.
And at some point the white will show up, which makes it really pretty. So that just gives you a good variety. There's some white in that one.
Yep.
And I do it this way so that you just don't get a real uniform look. I kind of like the eclectic look.
Yes.
We'll kind of come back and fill these in.
Pretty. And on another episode, when we had you here before, you actually showed us, we iced some easy vanilla cupcakes, and she actually taught us this technique. So you can
Yes.
actually find that on the website as well.
Yes. Yeah, this is a pretty technique for cupcakes.
And you're just starting in the middle.
Yes.
And I'll
starting in the
tell you,
middle.
I tried this. We actually all tried this when nobody was looking. It is hard. She makes this look like a piece of cake, and it is not a piece of cake. It is hard.
I've
It's
had lots of
easy for you
practice.
because you've done it a bunch,
have.
just like
Had
with
a lot of
anybody.
practice. Yes.
But it's a lot of work, and mine looked horrendous, like embarrassing horrendous.
They weren't.
We had they were horrendous.
I have a picture.
Oh,
Use this
good.
blackmail.
Did you?
I did.
Did you take a picture?
I did.
So I was kind of embarrassed.
No.
And
you
hers
did
are
good.
awesome, and it does just take practice.
Yeah. So
Those
you
are
can
beautiful.
see, like with all the different color options, how much fun you can have with one of these. I mean, you can do basically
Oh,
anything.
you're doing a fun little extra right there.
Yeah, and that's another fun thing about these roses is they're real
And there's a bunch of white.
mismatched.
I don't know if you can see. I love when that white came in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna finish piping rosettes.
Yep.
When we come back, Holly's gonna add a few really fun leaves and show us that technique as well. And then show us how she writes beautifully, like you're never gonna believe, on the top of a big cookie cake. This is Cooking Today. Hi, we're wrapping up our fun, very sweet day in the kitchen with Holly Thomas, who is piping beautiful little leaves in this neat green that she mixed up in that good frosting that we made. And she's just piping these on and adding them to the rosettes. If I were to do this, it would look like just swirlies, and hers are beautiful. Even the way that you're making that tip come out like that. What tip are you using on that one?
This is
Do you know?
a Wilton 352.
And it's like
that
got a
is
different
important.
end. It's like flat.
It does. I mean, that's the tip is really what makes the difference in how you're icing.
And you're just picking
out.
and choosing where you put.
Yes.
See, and that would overwhelm me a little bit. I wouldn't be brave enough.
Yeah. Well, at first,
It's
I think when I
precious.
first started making them, I was that way. But once you make them a few times, you kind of get
It's
a little.
gorgeous. And then one of the other things that is really amazing that Holly does is the way that she can take icing in a bag and write in the most beautiful handwriting. And she told me earlier she had bad handwriting, which you're not going to believe. That's a lie. That's a straight up lie.
It's not pretty, just because it's that. It's really
Okay,
not.
she's about to take icing and then pipe beautiful script on the front of this cookie. Oh, my goodness, Holly. It is amazing. And I'll tell you this too, when she does this on cookies that are only about 3 inches around, That is when it blows your mind. Blows your
Lots
mind.
of practice. This is probably the hardest thing in my opinion.
Is that the hardest you think, writing
I
over
do.
the flowers and over all the
I
other
do.
things?
Yes, definitely.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to turn it around. You need to follow Holly on Instagram, Domestic Housewife, DOUGH. Follow me, Eunamaze, EUNAMAES. And of course, you need to like Cooking Today on Facebook because that's where all the fun happens, all the recipes and links. Oh, y'all, I told you. Can you even believe that? Holly. I just love when she's here.
Thank you
We're
for
gonna do it
having me.
again. We're just already brainstorming what we're gonna
We
do
are.
next. Little
Too much
cakes,
fun.
Lots of fun things.
Yeah.
We love that she's here. This is a treat. We cannot wait to snack on this. Hope you'll try the cookie recipe at home, as a matter of fact. And go ahead and jump in there and be brave and buy these tips and go for it. I think you're gonna love every bite. This is Cooking Today.
Cooking Today, sponsored by West Rock Coffee Company. Kitchenware is provided by Euna. Groceries provided by Harps, Hometown Fresh. Online Elements sponsored by Fayetteville Farmers Market.